Hey guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to Thought for Food TV. Just finishing up an hour and a half of hill repeats here in windy but sunny northern England in the Ribble Valley. Take it easy, enjoy the vlog, bye! Don't care, don't care, don't care. Doesn't matter to you. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Doesn't matter to you. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Doesn't matter to you. Don't care, don't care.
What's up guys, welcome back to the vlog. Sorry I haven't been uploading that recently. I've just been, well, I'm back in Idaho first of all after my trip. Just drove back the other day. Stopped in San Francisco on the way from San Luis Obispo. Just had an awesome last couple days in California, but I've just been kind of recovering, doing lots of meditation, sleeping, and getting some work done. We're working on the latest What's the Deal episode for the podcast, and I have a big paper due in school, so I'm heading out to this new little coffee shop I haven't been to yet in town, here in Haley, Idaho. So yeah, I'm gonna get some work done and kind of take you along, keep you updated with what's going on. Bicycle brake. As most of you probably know by now, I'm obsessed with exercise performance, and exercise physiology was probably my favorite class in undergrad at CU, and I froth extra hard when I get to couple that with nutrition science, and those two things are essentially cornerstones of a healthy lifestyle, and so they're my favorite things in the world, maybe besides Japanese sweet potatoes. But today's science is going to be all about carbohydrate absorption for athletes and why that's important. Science.
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 Science. Okay, carbohydrate availability is extremely important for exercise performance, particularly at high intensities. Carbohydrate, absorption is a rate limiting factor for performance, and we know this from plenty of studies where people on high carbohydrate diets perform better in prolonged exercise. And a big important thing to remember is that you have to be taking in different kinds and different sources of carbohydrates, such as glucose and fructose, in combination, because the body has a limited ability to absorb just one type of carbohydrate. Another super interesting fact is that the body's ability to absorb carbohydrates through the small intestines actually is highly dependent on the amount of carbohydrates present in the everyday diet. And this is because carbohydrates are taken across the cell membrane of the small intestines by different carbohydrate transporters. In particular, one that transports glucose across this membrane is called the SGLT1 transporter. And when you eat a higher carbohydrate diet, especially a higher glucose, specifically carbohydrate diet, more of these transporters are created in the small intestine, allowing you to eat more, or allowing you to absorb more glucose. Same thing goes, you know, for fructose, where you know, you have the GLUT5 transporters, which does the same thing. This is where I fell in love with cycling about 10 years ago, up here in the Elkhorn Hills above Sun Valley. It's nice to be back on the bike up at altitude. I'm feeling it a little bit, but I always love coming back and riding here in Sun Valley. It's not a huge variety of riding, but it's gorgeous nevertheless. So anyways, this transporter phenomenon might explain why a lot of athletes experience GI distress when they start taking in gels and bars and you know, higher carbohydrate intake during training or competition when they're eating a low carb diet in their everyday life. This is why a lot of exercise physiologists recommend sort of periodizing your nutrition intake during the season, where you are kind of experimenting with high carb diet one day, low carb diet the next, and kind of mixing it up, because it can allow for greater fat oxidation and utilization, and to spare some of those carbohydrate and glycogen stores, while also maintaining the high levels of you know, glucose, fructose transporters in the intestine, so that you can use that, you know, fuel efficiently and really absorb the correct and optimal amount of carbohydrates. And this is a big reason why I actually, you know, focus on eating a pretty high amount of fat, relatively speaking. You know, I'd say I eat about 15 to 20% of calories coming from fat and things like nuts and seeds, nut butters, avocados, stuff like that, all whole foods. I eat a little bit of oil, but I'm trying to cut back. But I want my body to be able to be adaptive and use both fat and carbohydrates efficiently, so that when I'm going out for long rides, I can spare as much glycogen as possible and use, you know, fat as fuel. And obviously, training and riding at you know, your aerobic, you know, sort of zone 2 power is going to increase that fat utilization and oxidation anyway. And it's also not, it also doesn't mean that you should eat a super high-fat diet all the time. In fact, there's a broad and general consensus within the exercise physiology community that you want to be eating a high-carb diet, you know, most of the time, just because carbohydrate is so necessary and optimal for exercise performance. So anyway, just play around, experiment with your body, and don't take my word for it. See what works best for you. Try out eating a little bit more fat, eating a little bit more carbohydrate, and seeing how it feels and seeing how your body reacts to it. Okay, nice 90-minute ride just to kind of spin out the legs and get back after it after a few days off. But another important thing to consider about carbohydrates and exercise is, like I was talking about earlier, the body can only handle so much of certain kinds of carbohydrates. And so in the hours leading up to exercise, during exercise, and even directly after exercise, you want to focus on very simple and easily digestible sources of carbs. Because this is a big reason that Aaron and I kind of tell plant-based athletes to not freak out so much about overdoing it with fiber, because if you're eating a ton of fiber and a ton of complex carbohydrates, your body is gonna have a harder time digesting that, and your GI tract is gonna be kind of suffering the consequences. And this happened to me a few days ago. I had this huge, super fiber heavy breakfast before this ride, and Taylor and Ian, if you're watching this, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I felt really bloated and nasty on the ride, and I had to actually stop and take an epic dump during the ride, which was not super fun, but I felt a little bit better after that. So, you know, focus on things like fruit, more higher sugar, lower fiber fruit like dates, bananas, stuff like that. And then during the ride, you know, don't be afraid of some more refined carbohydrates like maple syrup and gels and stuff. I mean, obviously don't make that stuff a staple of your diet because that stuff's not health foods, but it does serve a purpose for, you know, enhancing and optimizing your performance. So the more carbohydrates you can deliver into the cells without overstressing the gut, the better the performance will be. So I'm actually just gonna make a really quick and easy and super high carbohydrate meal that I like to have after a ride. Basically banana ice cream with blueberries, dates, and cinnamon. Frozen blueberries, a few dates, secret ingredient, a piper. Just kidding. And then some cinnamon, a little bit of water, and blend. So what's super cool about this meal is that it's very rich in carbohydrates and multiple types of carbohydrates. So the dates are a great source of glucose, same with the bananas, and the blueberries and bananas have fructose in there too, so it can help to, you know, go through those transporters, those different transporters to get into the bloodstream quickly. These are easy to digest, especially since they're blended, just super quick to absorb. And of course you have to wear your helmet whenever you eat ice cream because safety first. Back to the grind. Time for the infamous TFF Dilla. Alright guys, first off, let me know what you thought about the science segment today. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit, make it, you know, the science part a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more embedded throughout the vlog, especially, you know, like today's was sort of relevant to cycling and exercise, so I was kind of trying to mix both of those things. So let me know if you want to see more of that in the future and just what you're thinking about with the vlog in general. Leave a comment, let me know. But if you haven't already, the new podcast is out with Ethan Brown. I'd really love it if you could go listen to that. It's he's the CEO of Beyond Meat, and it was a great conversation. Covered a lot of good stuff, and I hope it inspires you and gives you hope for the future of the plant-based food movement and for ending factory farming. I really like what Beyond Meat's doing, and Ethan's a super good dude, and I just was super honored to sit down with him. So I'm gonna end it today right here, and I appreciate everyone that's watched. Go give this video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how to do it. So until next time, go eat some plants, and please do some epic shit.